Welcome back to Cord Cutting Today, where we break down some of the biggest stories happening in the world of cord cutting, including, are you ready to pay more for television? We've seen on-demand services raising their price. DirecTV is doing it too. You could be paying over $15 or $16 more a month on your TV bill there. Also, the end of DSL and phone. AT&T is getting permission from the FCC to shut down more of its traditional phone copper lines and DSL service. They want to, by the end of 2029, completely shut them down. About 4 years from now, they hope to completely end DSL and copper. Did you have DSL? Let me know. Also, the parent company behind MeTV and MeTV Tunes has real concern about the future of broadcast TV, the free over-the-air TV. They met with the FCC to raise concerns over these rules as the transition to ATSC 3.0 happens. We'll break down what's happening there and more in a quick minute. First though, if you're new here, do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up, doing one or both lets YouTube know you enjoy what we do here, so YouTube recommends our videos to more people, helping us grow, hopefully helping you break free from the high cost of TV. Don't forget, you can get these stories in your email every morning if you want. Just sign up for our free morning newsletter. You can find it in the show notes, or you can find a link to every comment or every story I talk about here in the comments, and in the first pinned comment, I put a link to every story there, so you can read them for yourself, come up with your own opinion. Let me know, but hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up. It really does help. All right, let's dive into it. DirecTV late last week started to notify customers of a big price hike. They've been kind of cagey on exact details. Their official help page just basically says log into your account to see what is there. But we've heard reports of price hikes between $9 and $11 a month for the base package, and add-ons for some of these movies and television packages going up as much as $5 a month. Now, I had one person say they were seeing a $12 a month price hike. I'm looking into that, so maybe it's as much as $12. I have not confirmed that yet. But smaller plans are about $9 a month. Bigger ones, like the Ultimate plan, is $11 a month price hike. Now, on top of that, you also have to see price hikes on things like DirecTV as add-ons for it. That could raise you another $5 a month. All put together over $180 a year in price hikes for these customers, and they're not alone. We're seeing price hikes here. DirecTV standard reply. And it's true here that the cost of TV is going up. And because the cost of TV is going up for them, they have to pass it on. And you've seen this fight. DirecTV's had many blackouts over the last few years with local TV stations and more as they argue about the cost of content. Local TV stations being some of the highest priced channels right now. And their owners say they want even more money. They've made it clear that they think their content's worth even more, and they're continuing to push for that. We'll have to keep a close eye on this, but unfortunately, for live TV in particular, it's becoming expensive. But I think that's why increasingly we're seeing people ditch live TV and go over to things like on-demand content from places like Netflix, Disney Plus, and more. We've done these stories for $30, especially if you get the ad support plan. You can get multiple ones. There's bundles of these that save you money. If you're like me, you can get advantage of free streaming services from either Walmart Plus, your cell phone provider, and other places with it. So I think this is just going to continue to push people away from live TV. If you're not a sports fan, increasingly, why are you paying? I used to say if you're not a news fan too, but news is pretty easy to find streaming free online. Sports really is the only reason we're seeing people pay for things like DirecTV anymore. And if you're not a sports fan and you still are, it's maybe time for you to consider cheaper on-demand options with it. We'll keep an eye on that. Hey, real quick before we get into the next story on this, I have a second channel, Guy Reviews with Luke, where I break down a lot of other kind of news stories, product reviews, and more. Hey, first pinned comment, I'll put a link to it. It's in the show notes too. And at the end of this video, you'll find one. But just did a deep dive on some big changes coming to Walmart this year, especially online and in stores. If you like videos like this, but you're interested in some non-cord cutting breakdowns of what's happening and what I find interesting, check out the Guy Review channel with Luke. Link in the show notes and in the first pinned comment. I'd appreciate a subscription. I'd appreciate if you check out the videos there. I'm going to be doing more videos like this, but on non-cord cutting topics over there. All right, let's keep going. The FCC has given AT&T approval to shut down more of its copper DSL and phone service its traditional phone service through copper lines in more areas. About 10% of its network will be shutting down soon. And this comes as AT&T says by 2029 it intends to end all copper phone service for DSL and traditional phone. Now California is pushing back on this, trying to block them from doing that. Outside of California, many areas just don't seem to care. And already AT&T has shut down a significant portion of its traditional copper and its traditional DSL service for phone and internet. Now with that few things here, you will still be able to get its phone service over the internet, much like what Comcast and other places do. AT&T also says though that they may not be able to replace this copper service with fiber in all markets, and in markets where it cannot, which is expected to be about half of the remaining copper markets with DSL service, are going to be pushed over to 5G wireless home internet. Now AT&T says that now that they have struck a deal to buy a bunch of spectrum from Dish, the EchoStar spectrum, once that is put in, it hopes to dramatically expand its 5G home internet service with it. But we'll keep an eye on this. If you're in a DSL market, you of course have things like Starlink. It sounds like AT&T wants to either offer you fiber or DSL. We'll keep an eye on this, but for now, no more traditional phone service coming soon. I'll be honest though, I have never owned a traditional or paid for a traditional home phone. When I was in college, I had a dorm I got for free, but when I moved out an apartment, I had a cell phone. That was great. When I bought my first house, I had a cell phone. I never got a home phone. Are you a phone never like I am? Let me know. All right, MeTV Tunes parent company, Weagle Broadcasting, has met with the FCC to express concern over its plans to shift over to ATSC 3.0. It's concerned because its channels are sub-channels. It's concerned about viewership coverage of it. It's also concerned about the plan to shut down 1.0 and move people over to 2.0. For now, the FCC has not brought much credit to this concern, and they haven't really paid a lot of attention to it. But it is a growing concern here, expressed by a growing number of people. The FCC decision to push forward with the National Broadcasters Association's plans to shut down 1.0 and move to 3.0 has raised great concerns with some sub-channel providers like MeTV and MeTV Tunes. We'll see how that plays out, but for now, the FCC does plan to continue to move forward with its goal, though no date has been announced for when it will shut down 1.0, but it's making a path for local TV stations to do that. We'll have to watch it closely. And it's kind of removing some requirements for sub-channels, like these smaller channels like MeTV and MeTV Tunes, to be dual broadcast both in 1.0 and 3.0. We'll watch it closely. All right, we talked last week in our next story about Fox News being sued by Newsmax. Well, Newsmax's lawsuit against Fox News has been dismissed. In less than 48 hours, a judge has looked at Newsmax's lawsuit that argued that Fox News is being anti-competitive and unfairly using its dominance in the world of news to hurt Newsmax, and has fully dismissed the case. Interesting to see. A lot of people had speculated that this could be a very interesting case and open up a lot of inner workings at Fox News. Well, if you're hoping for that, you're out of luck, because Fox News has canceled that deal. So we'll have to keep an eye on this. But for now, no lawsuit from Newsmax against Fox News. It'll be interesting to see if they try a different tact with this. I'm not kind of not surprised it got dismissed. Kind of surprised how fast it got dismissed with that. Today in TV history, 49 years ago this past weekend, The Muppet Show premiered. A landmark TV show for the time, premiered on September 5th, 1976. The Muppet Show first aired from Jim Henson and their studio there, becoming a cultural phenomenon that still lives on today, though I think the Muppets may not be quite as big as it once was when I grew up in the 80s and 90s with that. Leave me a comment, let me know, were you a big Muppets fan with that? But 49 years ago since this TV show came out. Alright, good news for Disney Plus fans. Disney Plus is going to be rolling out HDR10 Plus, a significant upgrade from what a lot of people have complained was poor quality 4K HDR from Disney Plus. Now, Disney announced earlier this year that this was going to come out, but it was spotted over here by Flat Panels HD. They spotted in the recent update to the Disney Plus app support for HDR10. Significant jump in color and image quality with this versus the older HDR standard on it. Now, they do point out that it has not started to actually stream. No content at the time of the posting of this story is actually streaming in HDR10. But the fact that the app now supports it probably tells us very soon HDR10 is going to come, offering a significant jump in picture quality on Disney Plus. We'll keep an eye on that when it actually goes live if we spot it. We'll let you know if you spot it. Make sure to leave me a tip about that or other things. Go to cordcuttersnews.com. Don't leave it here in the comments. It's easily lost. Go to cordcuttersnews.com, click on the Contact Us, and send us an email. Because it doesn't just go to me. It goes over to Jess, Raymond, James, and other people on the team, Becca, too, where they can see it. So if I'm busy and I miss it, hopefully they see it and we can get that news story out. Many of our stories come from readers like you sending us tips. All right. Good news for YouTube TV subscribers who use Roku. Roku has a sports center, which is a game finder to help you quickly see what sports are on and jump right to it. Now, it allowed things like DirecTV Stream, Sling TV, and more to be integrated. So if you saw a football game coming, you click on it, you could launch it from those. One noticeable one until now was YouTube TV. You couldn't from the Roku Sports Center launch from a game you found there into YouTube TV. Well, now you can. YouTube TV has integrated into Roku, and now when you go into their game finder to help you see what sports is on and where to stream it, you can launch directly into YouTube TV, making finding sports a lot easier on Roku if you're a YouTube TV subscriber. Does support a wide range of other ones, like I said, DirecTV, Sling TV, and more. With that, you might know if Fubo's included. I was trying to find a list of all the ones that were included. Let me know, is Fubo included on Roku's integration? I'd love to hear from you. Are you ready for this one? You think you may have had a bad day. Maybe you had a bad day in the stock markets, or it was the weekend if you're a sports fan. How about this? AT&T was losing $2 billion with a B every year on HBO when they sold it to Discovery, creating Warner Brothers Discovery. Now, interestingly, when AT&T bought HBO, they were reportedly generating $2 billion in revenue and profit each year from it. But by the time they were selling it, they were losing $2 billion every year. Now, this comes from a report from Variety that John Malone was a billionaire investor speaking at an industry conference talking about it. He helped with the merger of the two companies. Kind of said he wished he had a better full understanding of the finances of Warner Media before they bought it, especially HBO. It may have changed what they did. But because of FCC rules, they were unable to get full access to the data. And now he seems to have slight buyer's remorse on it, though Warner Bros. Discovery has been working hard to turn around that loss there. Quite impressive, though, to go from $2 billion in profit every year to losing $2 billion a year. That's a $4 billion swing when AT&T owned Warner Media. All right. Paramount's new leadership is contacting its employees to give them a mandate that they have to return to the office 5 days a week, including for employees that were hired specifically to be remote workers. And according to this, AT&T is saying if you don't, or excuse me, Paramount saying if you don't, you would be terminated. Now, there is a phased rollout starting next year. Different employees, depending on their contracts, depending on local laws and more around the globe, will be required to come back to the office, even if you're not a local employee. And if you don't, you will be terminated with this. We'll see what happens with it. But Paramount cracking down on remote workers. All right, a few interesting stories that jumped out to me. It's, I don't know, not directly cord cutting related, but there is a cord cutting tie here. Starting off with a report from Financial Express that it's reported that Trump is mulling requirements to force IT from outsourcing out of the country to bring it back into the United States, primarily with phone centers. Who here has ever struggled to call a phone center and get somebody to understand what you're talking about with it? Well, according to this, quote, pushing to make call centers American again is the slogan with this, that we may be seeing rules on this that would require companies to have U.S.-based call centers going forward. It'll be interesting to see how that comes together, but we'll watch it. AI scams are increasingly becoming more common and more aggressive. Now, this is an interesting one from TechSpot. A scammer posed as an astronaut convinces a woman to send $6,750 to buy oxygen because he's stuck in space. We've seen these AI Brad Pitts, AI this, AI that. And what's convincing about these is they use AI to have real conversations, to respond, to create images and videos, to try to help convince you they're real. Because look, here's a picture of Brad Pitt in the hospital. Obviously, he needs your money. Be careful of increasingly complicated AI scams. They're using AI out there to scam people. Talk to your family members. It's often people who think that they're smart enough that they won't ever fall victim to this. Oh, I'm good. Those are the people actually most likely to fall victim to scams sometimes. So be careful out there. And lastly, the FTC is fining Temu $2 million for alleged violations of the Inform Act, and reportedly, which involves ensuring customers can report suspicious activity to online markets and third-party sellers. So at issue here is Temu failed to provide a sufficient enough program to allow customers who were concerned they may have bought counterfeit or incorrect products with this. Now, it wasn't Temu, but I fell victim to this. I saw a new Google TV box on a website like Temu. I bought it, and when I actually got it, it wasn't the new one. I actually got the older model that's very similar looking, but that one was an Android TV model, and I wanted to review the Google TV model. Be careful of that. There's a lot of scammers out there doing this. Temu now running into problems with the FTC over this. Well, that's it for today. I hope you liked this video. Don't forget to check out my guy reviews channel. I just did a deep dive into everything happening with Walmart's big changes this year. Love to hear from you if you like those. Again, going to do more non-cord cutting over there, but interesting news stories, like ones I throw in here sometimes, that really have nothing to do with cord cutting, but I still find interesting. You can find it over at the Guy Reviews channel. In the show notes and in the first pinned comment, would really appreciate it. We're almost at 35,000 subscribers over there. Help push us over the top. I would appreciate your support. Until next time, take care, be safe. I'll be back again real soon.